Hello everyone, today we're looking at the Bitcoin and Ethereum chart because as you can see we have hit $111,878.9 Bitcoin price, which means a new all-time high. It's not by a lot, the previous one was like 109k, but I thought it would be a great idea to take a look at the chart of Bitcoin and also Ethereum because Bitcoin is leading the market. And I'm going to tell you why I sold 15% of my Bitcoin and Ethereum today. So please like, comment, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, it has been a while since I've looked at the chart with you guys. I think this was the chart from another video where I thought we would bounce off of the wicks of the last all-time high, which we might have on the lower time frames. But we went straight through, which is good. Anyhow, the reason why I'm taking out 15% of my Bitcoin and Ethereum is the following. If you look at the last bottom, if you will, April 7th, up to now, we have gone up 48.6%. Now, if we test back, let's say we stay in this range, we could go down 17.4%. But it's also very likely that we could go down 23.3%. So I took out 15% of my Bitcoin and Ethereum. So let's say we go down 23%. On the way down, I will basically have the money to keep on investing. And if it goes up, I only sold 15% of my shares. So I'm not missing any hype or whatever all-time high. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Now this is in the short term. If we lose this low, we're actually looking for somewhere around 58k, which is half of what we have now. Now, I'm not saying that will happen, but if you look at the bull market from 2020, and then we touched it back in 2022, from the top, it was minus 77%. So it can happen. These are different times. I'm not trying to spook you guys, but this could happen. Minus 70%. This is in the long term. Like we could be talking in 2027 or something. Basically, it's very important to take profit on the way up and reinvest on the way down so you can profit even more while also keeping some money for when shit goes south. Because if you didn't take any profit here, you would have gone down 54%. And if you didn't have any money to invest at this low, you would have missed out on 130% profit on that piece that you took out earlier. Even though, compared to the previous all-time high here, it was only 6.7%. So that's what I mean. Same thing here, if you didn't take any profit, you would have gone down 32.5%. If you didn't have money to spare, well now you would have had 122.7% profit, but because you didn't take any profit, it's only 50%. See what I'm saying? So imagine I took some profit, which I did, and then we go down to the bottom of this box, which is a realistic scenario and would not mean instant panic. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. Nobody can predict the future. And I will also make some guesses up to where I think this bull market can go. Anyhow, minus 18.5%. I buy something and then I'm up 23% basically if we go back to this last all-time high, which we are at now. Obviously, if we go back up higher, which is likely, then I make more profit. But yeah, it's not so much for making more profit, it's just a bonus. It's more for managing your risk. I've seen a lot of people do this with altcoins especially. They don't take profit. A friend of mine was up 10x, so that's 1,000% in profit, and he didn't take any profit, and now he's in a loss years later. So please take profit, especially if you have big numbers. Then why not take out 15% like I did? I'm not a financial advisor, you don't have to do anything, but this is just my take on it. So enough downside talk. Let's talk about upside. Now, as you can see, we have some waveforms. Obviously, this one was kind of crazy, so this is kind of one big wave. Like that, like that, like that. Although this and this looks kind of similar, don't you think? These two and these two. A bit higher, a bit higher. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. It just looks similar. All I'm saying. So imagine this was one swing. How low could it go, you know? Could it go like this? Could it go like that? I don't think so, but this one is pretty likely. But we're not talking about that. What would happen after this, right? Because from here, we basically went almost twice as high as the last one. Is that still possible? Yes, I would say so. I think in terms of market cap, we just beat Apple. I'll put it on screen right now. But let's just say from this bull market to what we have now, we went up 60%-ish, 62. Let's just say 62. So now we have this very recent all-time high, which again, doesn't mean it is the all-time high. Let's go plus 60% just to see where we would end up. 180K per Bitcoin. Now, I think that's very reasonable. You might ask why? Because obviously it gets more difficult the more people are in Bitcoin to go up, let's say $1,000 in Bitcoin price. But right now, Bitcoin is stronger than ever because we have the ETFs. So real investors, and Bitcoin is still relatively small, even though we have a higher market cap than Apple right now. Compare it to gold or the S&P 500. Bitcoin is technically digital gold, some say. So imagine how much growing potential it has. And the fact that it has grown over these years and it's proven itself for what, 16 years? I don't think it's going to zero anytime soon. Now, I even think it's possible we're going to see something like this. So let's say 160K and then maybe down and then up to, let's say 200K per Bitcoin. It's doable. We're talking the future here though. We're talking like 2030, maybe sooner, depending on how crazy Bitcoin goes with the regular investors. Upside is there. But what I'm trying to teach you is reinvest at the bottom. You will never know when the bottom is, and take profit on the way up. That's how I actually do it in general. I have a round number in euros, let's say 600 bucks or $1,000 to make it easier. If we go up 20%, I take out 20%. So it's that round number, $1,000 again. And if we go down 20%, I buy 20% back. Basically, everything you gain, you take out. Everything you lose, you put back in. And then you kind of get this average buy based on those swings. And you get a better buy in general. It's small amounts. Obviously, it's not the full position because we're not fully trading. This is more like a swing investing kind of thing. But yeah, because you're doing that, your buying points are usually pretty low. So when you go up, you have a decent buy. This is probably like even better somewhere like this, but you get my point. So let's move on to Ethereum because it's a totally different picture. All right, so this is kind of funny. I don't know when I drew this. I guess when it was flatlining, which is kind of interesting. I was not that far off actually. But yeah, basically Ethereum, as you can see, the 2021 bull market was the biggest bull market yet. But that leaves a lot of potential on the table, which is why I still own Ethereum. And Ethereum does have an ETF, but it's just not the same attraction as Bitcoin. Anyhow, if we look at the last bull market and then where we are now. Now I drew this based on this drop off over here. I'll remove all the drawings and I'll just place a little dot there over here. And I'll also put one at the start of this impulse so we kind of know what our levels are. Let me do this on the way up. So let's measure from here. If we would get our last, not all-time high, but our last bull market high, we would have 54.7% profit. If we would go down to this last piece, which is our last support, we would be down 31.5%. Now, if Bitcoin goes down, I'm telling you now, Ethereum probably will go down too. Nothing is certain, but that's usually how it goes. But in terms of upward potential, because I've already covered with Bitcoin, my strategy with the buying and selling, it's not different on Ethereum. So from here to the actual all-time high is 84.2%. So where could Ethereum go? Now this one is a bit more tricky because, as I said, we never beat the last all-time high, which is interesting. So this is more important than the actual all-time high right now. But realistically, if we don't beat these highs, we're probably seeing a 40% increase. If we do beat these and go to the all-time high, we go 83.7%-ish. But then if we go higher, and then I think it will be booming pretty nicely. Let's just say around 6.2K per Ethereum. I think is very acceptable. Because Ethereum's market cap is smaller, it could even be 8K or 10K which I mean from here is almost 300%, like 278%. But yeah, the downward scenario, if Bitcoin goes down into a bear market, then we could see minus 45%. This is bear market talk, of course. But yeah, if we lose this level, Ethereum is absolutely cooked and we're going down like 70% and then hoping we hold this. But I don't think that's going to happen, especially in the short term. Hopefully Bitcoin kind of stays or goes up and then Ethereum has the time to beat these last highs and then Ethereum is kind of safe. We're not safe yet, but we have gained this level. So this is our new support. And we've gained some levels. We still haven't gained this yet, as you can see. So you kind of have to climb the ladder to basically say, like the more you climb, the safer Ethereum gets. But yeah, just see it like this. This is now kind of a range. If we fall out of this, there's not much going on here. So we'll likely go back all the way here. So if we stay in this range, fine. We make a strong level because then when we break out of it, we test back on it and then boom, we can go up. And this is our new support level instead of all the way down here. So yeah, there's potential in Ethereum, but as I said, Bitcoin is leading. So when Bitcoin goes down, it's likely that Ethereum goes down with it. Now, I'm not going to cover altcoins like XRP or Link, which I did have for a short amount of time. I think I sold it somewhere here. Dogecoin and stuff, because altcoins are even less predictable. It is looking good though, Dogecoin. Anyhow, let me know your thoughts on Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. What do you think the new all-time high of this bull market is gonna be? I'm gonna guess 150K or maybe more. Let me know in the comments. Again, leave a like, subscribe, and join the Discord server where we chat about stocks and crypto all the time. And yeah, peace out guys. See ya.